Okay, so I was channeling. I was doing my YouTube live with you guys a little while ago, and I was channeling. I was pretty wide open. So it has been on my spirit for a while to do the intuitive tarot lessons. It's been requested and asked for, and it came up during our live today, and I promised to do it. I'm not ready. Like, what I mean by ready is like makeup done and prepared with a lesson plan, but I do want to get started for you. So we're just going to play with this. I have all of my decks. Okay, so this is where we're going to start. I'm Karma. I know I just jive right in. I'm sorry. I'm Karma. Welcome to Karma on Deck. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel. I'm a psychic and I am a tarot reader. I also teach tarot. I'm an NLP practitioner and a Reiki healer, hypnotherapist. I do timeline therapy. I have a little bit of this and that. I was born a psychic. I didn't play with this stuff later and then discover that there's things to it. I heard things, saw things. So I've had to map this out. I've had to like literally go to, let me turn this down a little bit because it's giving me a headache. But I literally had to unpack it because they teach you that you're crazy, or they teach you that you aren't seeing things or hearing things, or it's bad or evil or whatever. So I was born a psychic and I put everything to bed. And then later I learned tarot. And even as a psychic, I believed that tarot was bullshit. I was like, they're just cards. They're just a horoscope, a fortune cookie, right? They're just newspaper stuff. They're Dear Abby. It's bullshit. It's like, we're going to talk to you and I don't know. That's what I thought. So years ago, I had someone tell me that I should work for Miss Cleo. And so I was like, my friend was like, yeah, Ellen's doing it. I'm like, Ellen's not a fucking psychic. Like, how is she doing this? She's not a psychic. That's ripping people off. And she said, no, I think you should do it. You'd be really good at it because you're already a psychic. So I bought a deck, and I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it at all. It was complicated, and the images didn't, resound with me. They just were not, they weren't helpful. They weren't inspiring. There wasn't anything to it. So I learned it. It was hard, and I learned it, and it was useful, but I struggled with it. I didn't trust it. So I moved on and I found another deck and I loved it. I had this Egyptian deck and it was magic. There wasn't a thing that I couldn't put down that wasn't straight up real and true. And the images caused things to fire in my brain. They caused images to pop up like popcorn. And I was like, ooh, like it was a confirmation. So Spirit was giving me visual representations as a physical confirmation of the things I already saw in 5D. So it's showing up in my 3D when I was already hearing and seeing it. So they're like I always say channeling is like doing long math, algebra, right? And tarot cards are like using a calculator, right? So I'm going to teach you how to use the calculator. The very first thing that I would recommend you do is I want you to go out and search a deck. I want you to search on Amazon and go on Google, and I want you to look up tarot decks and images, and I want you to gravitate to exactly what feeds you. I don't care if it's hobbits. I don't care if it's Dungeons and Dragons, angels, fairies. There's a Hobbit deck that I saw. I'm like, who's looking at a Hobbit deck? Somebody is gonna, the imagery in the Hobbit, like which are the sneaky characters, which are the loyal ones, what is pure, what is dark, like the images inside the deck that the artist is trying to portray are gonna evoke certain thoughts in you. They're gonna evoke images, representations, like what does religion and spirituality mean to you? Does that mean, like for me, it's dragons. Like I've always been super connected to dragons, right? And Celtic and Gaelic, right? Irish. So I have certain images that resound with me. Like there's no wonder that there are like patterns and stuff that are my favorite. So, oh, I knew I should have done this tonight. Good, good, good. Yeah, we're ready to fire and pop open. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is all, my crown is coming open. Okay. So as you go to pick your deck, I want you to research. So, you can physically go and get them at like a bookstore or whatever, but you can Google anything. Like my roommate likes to say, if I'm like, anybody know about this and that, she always goes, you can Google it. So yeah, Google it. If you find a deck that you really like on Amazon or whatever, and it only gives you one or two cards to represent the deck, look it up on Google. You're going to find that there are images that you really love. So go through there, pick it out. That's my first recommendation. So let me show you a couple examples. I did separate some of the decks out. Like the first thing that you're going to do is make sure that you're getting a tarot deck. When you get home and I'm trying to describe majors and minors to you and unpack what some of these things mean, you're going to be confused. Because I like to say oracle cards are messages that you can pull for for meditation, or you can pull for a lesson or a daily devotional. Like, let me see if I have it. Hold on. It was back. Nope, I left it at work. Oh no, I got it. So oracle cards here, they're beautiful. Divination and oracle cards. So you're going to want to look for a deck that has 78. So here, the Mystic Dreamer has a tarot deck, and it'll say 78 card deck on the back. Or you're going to see this is like a kit. It has the book with it and whatever. And I do like kits. I don't like what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, the fucking blah blah made easy. That it just really isn't. They talk to you like you're stupid, and you're not. You're not doing this because you're stupid. You're doing it because you're inspired. So my Mystic Dreamer Tarot has a book with it. And when someone takes the kind of time to go through a book and give you this much content, usually it's pretty well thought out. And that's just been my experience. Some of them give it just so they can charge you more, but for the most part, that's what I find is true. So I do like the kit ones. They just tend to be a little deeper, but that's just me. So here, like the Gilded Reverie here by Lenormand. This one here is absolutely stunning and beautiful. The Gilded Reverie literally has like gold on the sides, and it's deep, but these work in patterns, like some shit I've never learned. It was deep, it was hard, it was complicated. So oracle cards, you'll find they're typically bigger. They only have, usually sometimes oracle cards will have all of the major cards in them. And I'll get into that later. This is just your quick little intro on picking your deck. And the reason why I'm doing this is when you come to the lesson and you schedule time with me, I want you to have your deck so we can unpack it together, and then we can go to playing with what you're going to do next with it, like what you're going to study first, what you're going to pay attention to, and then we'll come back for the next lesson. But I want you to get this part first. So that's the reason why I'm giving this part away, is so that you can play with some of the things I had to struggle through. So these are absolutely stunning. The Divination of the Ancients. I'm sorry. Be patient with me. I'm clairvoyant. So I see so much, and as I'm unpacking it for you, I have to talk fast, because as soon as I explain it to you, they give me another message and another message and another message. I always say it's like getting chapters instead of a sentence. Like I'm talking to you in a sentence, but they're giving me the book, and then they're like, okay, but this, but this, but this. And again, I'm talking fast because I'm trying to get it all out to you. But anyways, Divination of the Ancients. See, they will have like fire, you know, you have different cards in there. They're beautiful coins, and they're stunning. How many are in here? 45. So there's only 45 cards in here, and there's no other minors. And then they have these deeper messages, and they're amazing. But the important thing to remember about tarot is there's structure, there's hierarchy, there's symbolism. These are all standalone. They're just standalone messages. So if we looked up the book or knowledge, the book is discovery, it's this, it's that. So they're messages, and that's okay. There are definitely times in your life where you feel as if messages are where you're at and you don't need, you know, it's great for guidance. So that's the Gilded Reverie. That's an expanded deck that goes into... it has its own design. It's actually beautiful. I love it. It's one of my favorites, but I don't play with it very often because I'm here with you guys. So Another popular deck that a lot of my practitioners use. Actually, I want to say that every practitioner that works at my shop, Karma Connection, has this Thoth deck. And if I'm pronouncing it wrong, you'll be okay. But they have this deck. So this is a favorite. So I'm going to unpack this and take it out, and I'm going to set it up because I want to show you some similar symbolism, because it's going to be universal. Even when you pick out a tarot deck, this is what I want. The biggest takeaway that I have for you is that regardless of the images that you choose, you are going to have a structure that's consistent. All the cards are going to be the same. You're going to have wands, cups, pentacles, and swords. And beyond that, you're going to have the other, my God, what's in my eye? I think I'm going to die. I need a paramedic. Medic! My bad. So what was I saying? Yes, so we have the 4 minors and then the majors. And yeah, well, there's so many things to talk about. So the minors, I always say the minors are like a cup of tea, and the majors are like boiling water. So stovetop to volcano. So when you have a major card and a minor, the only difference is the minors are mirrors to your majors. So if you have the Magician, for example, the minor would be Knight of Wands, I think, because the images are identical. It just means lower energy. So if you had the Magician and then turned around, there it is. See, a divine inspiration. This is beautiful. So for example, the minor card in the dragon deck is the Ace of Wands. If you look at it, you can see that he has every element he needs in life, right? He has all the equipment. Okay. He has Google over here. He has books, knowledge. He has crystals, which is the pure. You have all the elements. And look, you have my blue maru right here at the top, your constellations. You have all this equipment, books of knowledge. We even have Wicca in here. So when you look at this card, the Ace of Wands, it is the foundation to the Magician, because the Magician is mastery, right? Boom. Wow. This is so exciting. This deck isn't separated. I separated all my decks, but I did some readings earlier. And I didn't separate these out, but it's cool. These are right on the top. So look, so this is mastery. He has all of the elements. He's on a stage. Yeah, look, Jameson chewed it. Is that fucked up or what? I have a new one coming so we can be pretty on camera, but whatever. He chewed my deck. Asshole. So look, you have all the elements. You're on the stage, and this is complete mastery. For me, anyway, and I'm no guru, but I do find that there is a mirror to every minor, every major in the minors. So this is mastery. So when I get this card, I get excited. I'm like, ooh, you're on your way. So that's why I feel Karma feels that learning the structure is valuable with whatever deck you use, because all of the majors, if you learn the majors, you're automatically going to get a freebie, because if you can figure out, and I'll teach you later, you can figure out which of the minors matches your majors. It's just the lower energy of it. Super easy. You don't have to learn the meaning of every card. You just have to get your images. And if we can get images that speak to you, boom, we're halfway there. Now you're having fun. Now you're liking it. Now, like, let's say I'm Gaelic, I'm Irish, I tweak all of that stuff. And as I tweak all that stuff, it speaks to me. So I don't care if it's American Indian. I don't care if it's witches or pagan or, let me think here. What else could there be? There's a dozen things. Oh, mermaids. There's Egyptian. Let me think. So you get it. You get it. There's a bunch of different ways that you can go and pick a deck. So for example, I was told this is a dark deck. It's really not. It's super light. The other thing that I have to say, different decks speak differently. So dragons, think dragons. And this is just my personal experience. But for me, how they play out is this one. I always use my Dragon Tarot. It always behaves with logic, intention, decisions, money, all of that. This one here, the Mystic Dreamer Tarot, this one always plays with relationships, dynamics, emotions, commitment, cheating, sneakiness, lies, human behavior. And so you'll find that different decks respond differently for different things, and it's kind of cool. So that's my Mystic Dreamer, my Dragon Tarot. I have the Thoth deck right here. All the practitioners that work at Karmic Connection, every one of them use this deck in some capacity. I have not yet. So as soon as I practice with a little bit, actually, ding. What we're going to do during the classes, the lectures that I'm going to do for Intuitive Tarot 101 with Karma, is we'll pick this deck apart and we'll go through it. And I will step by step learn with you and screw around with learning a new deck so we can struggle with it together. But I will give you some tricks to it, and I have lots because I learned the hard way. I didn't have any help, and I'm here to do that for you. So anyways, that's what Karma is asking you to do, is go find what feeds you. And even sometimes, like this deck right here, where's the box to it? This one is Tarot of Dreams. Look at this. The Jameson, he's going to knock me over. Can I help you? Come on out. Can I help you? Go. Thank you. Okay, go. So here, Tarot of Dreams. These are stunning. Stunning. The images, oh wow, how cool is that? Oh, it's the same image. So I have the, these are separated out too, but these images are stunning, right? My only problem is, as I'm playing with this deck, I'm doing readings with you guys with these other ones, and I haven't had time to play with it. So yeah, the images are striking, beautiful, bright, you know? So what you got to do is just trust your deck, play with it, stick with it for a while until it starts to behave with that muscle memory. Because as soon as it becomes easy to you, then you do what I call becoming untethered. Becoming untethered is, it's just muscle memory and you're going into the rhythm of it and you're looking at it and you're like, oh yeah, that looks good, that looks good. And then bing, hold on. Why does this make sense to me? Why is this popping up? So we're going to get to a point where you have mastery and you can actually play with it to where it's effective. So for now, that's your only task in choosing a deck. Before you do anything, play with images. They went off focus for a second there. So play with images until you find something that really resounds with you, and order it, and then check in with me and we will schedule an appointment, or I will work on getting the next video out for you. You can find me on the website for that. Thank you for joining me. Karma on deck. I always sneeze when I channel. I don't have any tissue. I'm sorry. Oh man. Thank you for joining me. Karma on deck. Find me on all the social media platforms. Instagram is Karma on Deck 702, Facebook, etc. If you want a reading one-on-one with me, or you want a personal session for training, karmaondeck.com, or come see me at Karma Connection in Las Vegas. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. You guys were amazing on the live earlier. Subscribe, bring your friends, let me know where you are in the world. That's my favorite thing. I don't know, it's annoying, I get it. And tell me how you think things went. Give me some feedback, because that helps me, helps us. Thank you so much. Blessed be. I'll see you next time, okay?